when you live in a state that already has over 600 data centers, it has the most data centers in the country, why the would you want more to be built here?
Is good. I said, hope you're enjoying the paycheck.
How do you like the taste of poison in your water? How do you like the taste of poison in your water?
I said, how y'all doing, Prince George's? I don't know about these orange shorts, but I'm from Prince George's.
Period.
Laying over, right down the road, like 202, like all day. What's up? So if you're not from Prince George's, you don't need to be here because your voice doesn't need to be heard. And I'm going off script right now, but at the end of the day, I know you're paid protesters. I know you're sent here by somebody. You didn't just show up on your own because you want data centers in your community. You showed up because you had to. You showed up because you need to make $1. And I don't need to make $1.
Y'all ain't buy them shirts.
And my well-being. So y'all can kick rocks all day. So like I said,
Hey, what's up, America? We need to talk about Project Matador. Yes, Project Matador, the largest AI data center in the entire world. Being built in North Texas, this is declared an AI data center campus. It will cost over $500 billion and use more water than most major industrialized nations. They're having to build a nuclear facility as well as a natural gas plant and other power facilities to make this fucking thing work. So let's take a look at Project Matador and watch our futures end. So this is an artist rendering of the Project Matador Fermi Data Center campus. That's the largest data center in the entire world. They've already raised $700 million. And the state of Texas has approved this. This AI data center will use approximately 17 gigawatts of power, or twice the amount the state of Texas uses.
Finally, a bit of good news when it comes to these data centers. But before I tell you the good news, just as a reminder, these data centers are popping up everywhere. They're polluting the earth. They are polluting the air. It's noise pollution. The larger ones are using up to 5 billion gallons of water a day for their cooling systems. And we have billionaires telling us that it's more important that the data centers have water than humans. Like, I'm not even kidding. But here's the good news. Erin Brockovich is on the case. Yes, the Erin Brockovich. And that means that lawsuits are coming. They are coming. She has been tracking these data centers. She's also been tracking how they have been at the planning stages. They've been listing them as warehouses so that people won't come out and protest against them. Like, they are doing NDAs. They're doing these backdoor deals. Like, the lawsuits are coming. Mark my word. So she created a website, www.brockovichdatacenters.com. I'll put it right here so that you can report if you see a data center going up in your area, or you can use it to check your area to see if there's already one established. Just because we need to keep an eye on this. These things are popping up all over the place, and they're going to have lasting effects on humans, animals, the earth, everything. So go get them, Julia. Erin Brockovich. Go get them. We're behind you. Let's stop these data centers.
So somebody's definitely going to burn that data center down in Utah. Y'all do realize that, right? Somebody is definitely going to burn that data center down to the ground before it's even built. And to be clear, that's not a threat. It's a directive that I'm pretty sure is going to happen. Because we're talking about a data center that was approved over the objection of pretty much the entire community. A very loud objection of the community, that I might add.
False. All of this is false.
All to curry the favor of a billionaire that doesn't even live in their community. And that billionaire is a part of the 1% community in America that has been making the working class's life a living hell. People need to understand that these big AI data centers are destroying the economy. But if you're someone who refuses to stop using big AI, then at least switch to a better eco-friendly alternative like EcoGPT. It uses 10 times less water, it's 10 times more energy efficient, and it plants a tree for every 100 prompts. So if you want to make a change, then that's one small easy change that you can make today that takes 1 minute to download in the App Store and delete.
I live next to a data center. Let me show you guys my water. I'm just gonna fill up a bottle here. This is what my water looks like. Okay, I'm obviously exaggerating, but this is what our fresh water is going to look like in just a couple years. There's already stories coming out and real articles coming out of how people are getting their water polluted that live near data centers. The water is either disgusting, undrinkable, or they just have no running water at all. And for those of us that are not yet affected, ChatGPT alone uses over 39 million gallons of fresh water every single day just for their data cooling centers. So imagine Gemini, Grok, ChatGPT, all of these big AIs are working in tandem. It's a lot more than 39 million. So imagine where our water's going to be in just a couple years. I'm not asking you to stop using AI. I live a busy life where I need AI, but at least I'm switching to a more eco-friendly version. There's so many options, but the one I use is called EcoGPT. I use them and I think they're cool because for every 10 prompts, they plant a freaking tree in real life. And on top of that, they're 10 times more energy efficient than ChatGPT. I personally like to measure in the app of how I'm helping the environment rather than destroying it. So yeah, you're watching this video, you know of the damage. It's up to you to switch to something more eco-friendly or...
Houston, Texas, we have a brand new data center that is being built right here. Just 8 miles outside of Houston main downtown, more towards east of Jacinto City. Jacinto City is home to 10,000 low-income residents. This is going to be a hyperscale data center that's going towards you. It's about 79 megawatts. And to give you an idea as to how much power that is, that's enough for electricity to power up 80,000 homes. And the videos that have been circling around the internet exactly as to how loud these data centers are, those are only 30 megawatts. And they're literally doubling that. They're putting this in.
So apparently the largest power grid in the US is about to fail because of the extreme strain on it from this extreme heat wave. So they are going to start cutting people's electricity. So here's my suggestion. Cut the electricity to the data centers. They are already at such a strain on our power grid and our resources that eliminating their electricity would solve probably 70% of the problem, and it would also leave the electricity for the actual humans who use the electricity to stay alive in this heat that is already killing people.
We're not going to run out of drinking water because they're cooling down those data centers. We're going to be running out of water because they're stripping the water from its memory. So I had mentioned in another video before how I did not believe that we would be running out of drinking water for AI centers because water has always been here. There's no way that you can destroy or create it because it's always been here. It just is. It holds all the memory from centuries and years before us. However, the more that I'm looking deep into this, the only thing that can make sense is they're trying to pull information out of the Akashic records, out of the ether, and they're pulling it out of the water. And that water also resonates with us. So you have to understand, we are primarily water beings. We're water beings and we're light beings. We're electrical beings. And water is electricity as well. But every fiber of our body, every cell, our DNA literally is interacting and communicating with things around us at all times. Why do you think that they've issued out technology that's allowed to implant thoughts into our heads, and then we're starting to see the ads and things like that on our phones, or when we're thinking about something, it pops up on our phone? This is a form of like fucking technomancy. They're out here trying to merge technology and people together until it is an electrical material thing. But I don't think that that's gonna last. This is my theory. Again, I'm like deep diving this thing because I'm like, there's only a matter of time before the fucking system collapses. The 5D will rise and people will split timelines. But before that happens, we are going to experience hell on earth. A lot of people, when we're talking about the rapture, a lot of people will be left behind and experience hell on earth, which will be AI taking over, which will be robots taking over, which will be government officials who will be taking over and dictating human life. They're pulling all of that information out of the things that we can't see or hold. We came in here with all that information already within us. You have to activate your own DNA to activate that remembrance and that memory within you. We came out of our mother's wounds, which is water and ether. When we're looking at the wound, we're coming in a bag of water, and the same dark matter that hovers over the face of the waters that was here, that holds everything and nothing all at the same time, that dark matter, that black matter, is within the wound as well. So when we are entering this earth, we already have that information well encoded in our DNA. We are highly technical computer beings. Like, you have to sit here and really dissect all of the information that they're giving us, and also understand we are the electrical beings. We are the information. The water is the information. Everything that's already been given to us is the intelligence. It's within us. We have divine intelligence. What I believe is going to happen within the next couple years, because the shift is already here. The shift has been happening. The feminine is returning. I believe, and this is just because I've noticed this myself, the great awakening. Information and knowing is about to literally go in through everybody's mind, and people are just going to start to know stuff. They're just going to start to wake up and understand where their divine intelligence is coming from, what weapons have been created to go up against them. We're talking like bio warfare. We're talking food, air, water being poisoned. We're talking like everything that's meant to keep our consciousness down. I think people are going to start to understand exactly what those weapons have been, and they're going to understand how creation works, and that's what's going to make the shift end up happening. I believe when intelligence peaks and permeates through everyone, everybody's going to start waking up, and that's when the shift will completely flip. But again, before that happens, I believe that they're going to try to strip our water, try to strip all of our natural God-given resources. By spiritual law, that is yours. By spiritual law, they cannot take that stuff away from you, but they're going to try their best to go through all these loopholes, and it's going to backfire. It's going to backfire. All those movies, all those sci-fi movies, everything about AI and robots taking over, I believe that when the timeline split and 5D Earth comes and hell is here on Earth, and this shit literally catches fire because the planet is fucking heating up, I think that is when the whole entire system will collapse. Again, now, the only reason I'm even deep diving this, and I just can't stay away from information. Like, when it piques my interest, I have to go in and just learn all about it. However, I don't think it matters. I think at the end of the day, it still does not matter, because you are still the creator of this reality. If God is within you, the light being is within you, and you have the power to will your own creation and reality into existence, when everybody starts to wake up, they cannot stop that shift. And the only reason they're doing this hyper, like, revving it up, like their last hurrah, is because once this shit splits, they will be recycled. Their consciousness will be recycled back into their 3D Earth and be used as the AI and the robots that they created. I'm going to touch more on this, but when you understand what happens when the body leaves the earth and your body completely decomposes and those gases are released back into the ether, and you understand how souls have cycled back in and genetics works. Like I was telling somebody the other day, if you've ever watched the movie Sinners, you know that one scene where they're all dancing at the same exact time? That's because the present, the past, and the future are all simultaneously happening at the same time. You are your parents. You are the imprint. You are a genetic imprint of the generations before you. Like, that is why they say we have all been here multiple times. But that shit is coming to an end when this completely collapses. And when it collapses, when the old earth is still here, which is a 3D earth, when we're going to see all this hell coming about, all these robots, all this AI intelligence trying to take over, the consciousness that's going to be used is from those beings who will be recycled right back into that 3D earth and into their systems to gain information. I want to go deeper into that because it's so much information, but the more that you start to understand the science to it, understand the biology of it, understand quantum physics, and understand like what they've been lying to us about, but not even lying, they've been coding it into the science, you'll start to understand it does not matter though. What the fear that they're trying to monger out here and get us to react, the water in our body will react when we are in fear. When we are happy, that emits a frequency. It feeds that system. So they're needing us to be as fearful as possible so that they can complete their assignment. But by the time that happens, or they even have a chance to do that, consciousness is going to rise. It's going to be too high up that everybody at one time, whoever's meant to awaken and completely shift those timelines, that information and that intelligence is going to wake up within them. Their DNA will activate, and that's what they're trying to prevent, because they can't stop it. No matter how many weapons they create, whether it is war, whether it is food, air, water, poisoning us, pharmaceuticals, whatever it is, when the time happens, because it's going to happen, intelligence has to wake up. Every cell of our body, every ounce of our DNA is going to activate, where we're just going to have that knowing, and we're going to walk aligned and accordingly. And that shit will flip this shit upside down. New earth will be here. The first will be last. The last will be first. The meek will inherit the earth. And everybody whose inheritance has been taken from them will be given right back to them tenfold. That's what the Bible is talking about. But again, it is coded heavily in the science. The more that you start looking up the actual scientific names to all of these things, I'm talking like the plasma, the quantum, the how cells interact with our environment, how, you know, just how DNA is constricted because of the stress that we're under. Like when you start to understand the science, you'll start to understand the biology and the human makeup. And then you can understand spiritual things a lot better. But I'm so backwards. I got straight into the spiritual things, and then now I'm just starting to understand the body and how we're electrical and water beings, and how we are literally the ones powering this planet, giving all this electricity, giving all of this information, but they're trying to completely play God and know everything about us like the all-knowing would, and they're using the water to do it. They're using the water, and they're using the dark matter, the ethers. That's why they turned off CERN. That's why they turned off CERN. There's so much more I want to talk about, but I'm about to hop off of here. But look into this stuff. Do your research for yourself. Study to show yourself approved. Do not believe everything you see on the internet. You have to go down those rabbit holes yourself.